Okay, it's dialing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining this telephone town hall for the PGCPS CEO Search Committee. My name is Scott Peterson. I am Mr. Baker's spokesperson and will be your moderator for this call. I apologize, but for the next several minutes, you're going to hear me repeat and re-welcome participants to this call as we wait for more of our neighbors throughout the county to join us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining this telephone town hall for the PGCPS CEO Search Committee. My name is Scott Peterson. I am Mr. Baker's spokesperson and will be moderating this call. Again, I apologize. For the next several minutes, you're going to hear me repeat and re-welcome participants to this call as more of our neighbors are joining us throughout the county. As we wait for more to join us, I hope that everyone knows that they can find information and resources on the new CEO search process on our website at princegeorgescountymd.gov. Again, that is princegeorgescountymd.gov. Throughout the call tonight, if you would like to ask a question, you should press #0 on your telephone, and you'll be connected to one of our volunteers manning the phones this evening. Since we're hoping to hear from as many as you as possible, we're asking that you keep your comments brief. Again, please hit #0 on your telephone if you would like to register your comment, concern, or question to the search committee. Additionally, we're going to ask a few survey questions this evening, and everyone can participate via your phone. Please take this time to write down the other means of getting your question or concern heard and response if needed on this proposal or any other county-related issue. Please email us at newschoolsceo, that is NEWSCHOOLSCEO, at co.pg.md.us. Again, if you would prefer to register your comment with us via email, that is newschools, plural, schools, CEO at co.pg.md.us. newschoolsceo at co.pg.md.us. You can also call us anytime on this issue or any other questions you have for the county government through our new 311 service. Again, we thank you for your participation tonight, and we will start this call very shortly. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining this telephone town hall for the PGCPS CEO Search Committee. My name is Scott Peterson. I am Mr. Baker's spokesperson and will be moderating this call. I apologize, but for the next several minutes, you're going to hear me repeat and re-welcome participants as more of our neighbors throughout the county will be joining us. As we wait for more to join us, I hope that everyone knows that they can find information and resources on the new CEO search on our website at princegeorgescountymd.gov. To ask a question, please press #0 on your telephone, and you'll be connected to one of our volunteers manning the phones this evening. Since we are hoping to hear from as many as you as possible, we are asking that you keep your comments brief. Additionally, we're going to ask a few survey questions throughout the town hall, and everyone can participate via your phone. Please also take this time to write down these other means of getting your question or concern heard or a response needed by emailing us at newschoolsceo at co.pg.md.us. Again, that is newschoolsceo at co.pg.md.us. That is the email if you prefer to email us than asking us a question. Again, you can also call us at any time at 311, and our 311 operators from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday will be happy to help you out on this issue or any county government issues. Again, we thank you for your participation tonight, and we'll start our town hall very shortly. We're going to begin our town hall tonight with some brief remarks from County Executive Rashawn Baker. Mr. Baker, welcome to the telephone town hall.
Thank you, Scott, and I want to welcome everyone to the town hall meeting. This is a very important meeting for us in Prince George's County as we start the process for selecting a new superintendent or CEO for our school system. So you're a very important part of this, and we hope to hear from as many folks from Prince George's County as possible so that we can take those ideas and weigh in on the search. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Dukes and the members of her search committee, Kenneth Johnson and Orlin Johnson, for being willing to serve the public in this way. And with that, I look forward to hearing from everyone and getting your input so that we pick the best superintendent possible or CEO for Prince George's County School System. Thank you, and I look forward to a very lively discussion tonight. And I'll turn it back over to Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Before Dr. Dukes delivers her opening comments, I would like to take a minute to give some background on the search committee and introduce Dr. Dukes to all of you if you're not familiar with her. First, on May 10th, Governor O'Malley and State Superintendent of Schools Dr. Lillian Lowry announced the appointment of 3 members to the search committee for the Chief Executive Officer of the Prince George's County Public School System. These appointments were made following passage of House Bill 1107 that outlined a revised governance structure for the Prince George's County Public Schools. Part of the new structure included a process for creating a search committee to select the next superintendent, or now known as the CEO. This statute went into effect on June 1st. State Superintendent Lowry selected Dr. Charlene Dukes as chair of the search committee, and Governor O'Malley appointed 2 Prince George's County residents, Mr. Orland Johnson and Mr. Kenneth Johnson. Dr. Dukes is currently the president of the Prince George's Community College. Since May of 2007, she has served on the Maryland State Board of Education and was elected president by her colleagues in 2012. From 2002 through 2006, Dr. Dukes served as an appointed member of the Prince George's County Board of Education. She earned a Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education with an English concentration from Indiana University of Pennsylvania and a master's and doctorate in Administrative and Policy Studies from the University of Pittsburgh. She has been recognized by the African American Alumni Council of the University of Pittsburgh as an outstanding alumnus and by the University of Pennsylvania as a distinguished alumnus. In 2011, the Washingtonian recognized her as one of the 100 most powerful women in the Washington, D.C. region. She previously accepted appointments to the Board of Directors at the Association of American Colleges and Universities and the American Association of Community College. Dr. Dukes is a member of the Board of Directors of the Prince George's County Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Prince George's County Business Roundtable, the Harlem Renaissance Foundation, Hillside Work Scholarship Connection, Doctors Community Hospital, and College Summit. She serves as Secretary of the President's Roundtable. That is a lot, Dr. Dukes. But most importantly, you are also a President Obama Champion of Change. That's my favorite part of your bio. Dr. Dukes resides in Glendale, Maryland, and her son, Maurice Dukes, who attended PGCPS throughout his entire schooling, recently graduated from Howard University. So first and foremost, Dr. Dukes, welcome to our town hall, but most importantly, congratulations on your son's recent commencement.
Thank you so much. You know, it's a delight for me to be here this evening because I have the distinct honor of serving as the president of the community college here in Prince George's County and in my new capacity as chair of the Prince George's County Public Schools Chief Executive Officer Search Committee. As you all know, Governor Martin O'Malley signed into the law, House Bill 1107, and that bill authorizes the county executive to select a new chief executive officer for our public schools. Now, I will tell you that the search committee has 3 charges. The first is to review and gather community input for the search of this new CEO by engaging the public through multiple forums, utilizing certain information gathered during the 2012-2013 Board of Education Superintendent search process, and establishing a means for the public to identify the characteristics desired for the new Prince George's County Public Schools CEO. Secondly, we will identify and conduct interviews with prospective candidates for this new CEO position, and the search committee's work is being supported by the search firm Hazard, Young, Attia and Associates. And thirdly, we will recommend no more than 3 candidates to the county executive, from which one will be selected to serve as the new CEO for Prince George's County Public Schools. Our work will be timely, purposeful, and deliberate, and informed by the understanding of the importance of stable, long-term leadership for the school system. I'd like to take just a few more moments and introduce my fellow committee members, Kenneth Johnson and Orland Johnson. Kenneth Johnson is a Prince George's County native and he is Assistant General Counsel at Sodexo Incorporated, a food and facilities management services company. He earned his bachelor's degree in government from Harvard University. He graduated from the University of California, Berkeley, with a law degree from the Bolt Hall School of Law. He practiced law in Los Angeles, and he and his wife now are residents of Prince George's County. He has been a long-term resident of the county. Mr. Johnson, Mr. Kenneth Johnson, and his family all attended the Prince George's County Public Schools. And then we have Orland Johnson, who is a principal at TJC Consulting Group, LLC, which is an international business consulting firm. He is also an adjunct professor at Howard University School of Law. Orland Johnson is a graduate of Andrews University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in economics, and he earned a Juris Doctorate degree from Howard University School of Law. He recently served as chair of the Board of Regents at the University System of Maryland. He served as chairman of the Securities Investor Protection Corporation and has been a member of the University of Maryland Medical System Corporation Board of Directors. Orland also previously served as president of the Prince George's Community College Foundation and is a member of the college's Board of Trustees. He and his family have been residents of Prince George's County since 1984. So I do want to certainly reinforce that tonight will be a listening session. We are interested in learning directly from our residents on what qualities, attributes, and characteristics the next CEO for Prince George's County Public Schools should hold. With that, Scott, I think we're ready for the first call.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Dukes. And now, as we're ready to get started with the most important part of the evening, your calls, I want to remind callers to, again, press 0 if you would like to give a comment, and you'll be connected to one of our call takers. And please remember, we want to get through as many comments as we can tonight, so we ask everyone to be brief. If we don't get to your comment tonight, or maybe you're just shy, you can also, again, connect to the search committee at newschoolceo@co.pg.md.us. And before we get to our first call, we're going to ask our first poll question, which will help us understand the makeup of our audience tonight. And in a few minutes, I'm going to share the response. So I'm going to ask everyone to answer this question, and please hit your phone and pound to respond. Which of the following statements best describes you? Please press 1 if you are a parent of a PGCPS student. Please press 2 if you are a resident of the county, but you do not have any school-age children. And please press 3 if you are a parent with a school-age child, but not enrolled in PGCPS. I'm going to repeat that question again. Again, hit 1, 2, or 3 on your phone to answer the following question. Which of the following best describes you? 1, I am a parent of a PGCPS student. 2, I'm a resident of the county with no school-age children. Or 3, I am a parent with a school-age child but not enrolled in PGCPS. And we look forward to hearing those responses, and thank you for taking the time to share with us. Our first call to start us off is Josh in Temple Hills. Josh, you there?
I'm here.
Go ahead, Josh. We look forward to hearing your comment.
So, yes, I live in Temple Hills, and I am new to the area. I don't have any kids, and I wish I could engage more with the Department of Education. However, I don't see many roles for me that I'm not a parent. What priority is a search committee given to an executive that can engage the community that's not just parents or academics or members that run organizations?
Josh, what I will tell you is that we are listening tonight, and what I believe I hear you saying is you would like a CEO who engages with the entire community, not just those who have children in the public school system or those who are in political positions. Am I correct?
Correct, because I have to volunteer and DC the community because they have roles for me as a data analyst. However, I'm not seeing those same opportunities here in my community.
Well, we will certainly include that concern as part of our search process. Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you, Josh. We're going to go to Althea in Bowie. Althea, and I apologize if I messed up that name.
Good evening. My name is Athira Shell, and I'm commending you in having this forum. I think it is timely. Very grateful to be able to speak. My concern, as a resident of Bowie, Maryland, but a resident of Prince George's, is the caliber of superintendent that we are looking for. I have watched over the period of the last 10 to 15 years the variability in terms of the actual people that take and hold offices in our school system. Longevity is very important. I did some research prior to this to take a look at across the nation what kind of qualities are best to describe a superintendent. And I looked at the Chatham, North Carolina research that was done in 2005, 2006. And to be very brief, they identified 19 superintendents who were recognized at the national level of being outstanding superintendents. And there were significant qualities that they all identified as being priority 1, 2, and 3. And among those were the ability of the superintendent to have a communication strategy. The configuration of the bureaucracy within the school district must be complementary so that there is accountability at every level, both across and within divisions and areas. And so my question to the committee is, will we be testing these individuals or questioning them to the extent that they will be employing a new configuration, or will they be coming in to deal with what exists and modify it in some way to enhance a communication strategy that will support their agenda?
Well, Ms. Shell, what I will tell you is that we are listening intently and we are making notes as you're speaking. I would also ask that you email us at the email address that Scott will repeat throughout tonight's program, so that we can understand the research that you are referencing in your comments tonight, and we'll ensure that we're asking questions that lead to not just consistency and sustainability, but innovation as well. Thank you for your call.
And that's my cue to repeat the email address, which is, again, New Schools CEO at co.pg.md.us. I also, before we go to the next caller, I also want to give the results of our first polling question. Those who answer the question that, what statement best describes you, those who answered, I'm a parent of a Prince George's County Public School System student, that was 38% of you on the phone call tonight. The second is, I'm a resident of the county with no school-age children, that's 45%. Of those on the call tonight. And then our third response was, I'm a parent with a school-age child not enrolled in the Prince George's County Public Schools, and that is 15%. Again, we're asking folks if you have a comment, and remember, this is a listening session, so our goal here tonight is to listen to you as much as possible. Please press 0 to share your comment with Dr. Dukes, and we're going to look forward to getting through. Please be brief, because we'd like to get through as many comments as possible. Right now, we're going to go to Sylvia in Mitchellville. Sylvia, how are you doing in Mitchellville?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. I would like to say thanks for the opportunity to speak with you guys this evening. And I would like to know from the CEO, I would like for her to be open to new innovation ideas, as well as, to get our students back on track to be successful across all curriculums. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, that's a wonderful comment, and we got it, and thank you so much for calling in. Let's now go to Janet in Mitchellville. Staying in Mitchellville with Jeanette. Looks like we lost Jeanette, so we're going to go to Tommy in Accokeek. Tommy, you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you. My name is Tommy Macula. I'm from Accokeek. I do have a child in the system, and I am a PTA activist. And what I would like to see in the CEO is that somebody who will really put an end to this mindless focus on standardized testing. I think we have just gone completely overboard with it, and there's really no evidence that it's doing any good for our kids. Obviously, we have some federal and state legal requirements that we need to meet, but whatever the county can impact, I think that should really be the direction we are going. I think all the evidence, the research, the forward-looking people that are really looking into this, I think they all pretty much seem to agree on this. And it just led to a really narrow focus that's really focused on only reading, writing, and math. And that kind of really narrow focus is, I think, is very detrimental. And I do want the CEO also to look at places where there has really been real success. For example, Finland. I think everybody in the education arena agrees with that. And for example, so they are looking at, instead of this testing, they are focusing on teacher quality, teacher autonomy, treating teachers really as professionals, and a much broader, well-rounded education, even though they still outperform our kids in all these core areas as well. So I would like to see a truly forward-looking person who's really getting away from this really testing that I think is just really gotten out of hand. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your comments, and we'll certainly take all of that into consideration.
Veronica on Oxon Hill, you're up. Veronica, Oxon Hill.
Yes. This is Veronica Howard. I live in the Oxon Hill area, and I have a high school child that attends Oxon Hill High School. But I wanted to know, is it going to be if we are parents going to be able to contact the superintendent office to, I guess, get like a guideline or a map of what's going to be on a test to get the kids ready for the testing procedures during the beginning of the year, because I know my son normally, at the end of the year they have the testing, and it's kind of like sprung on him, and he's not always prepared for testing. So is there anywhere that I'll be able to contact the superintendent office and get some type of map or just a plan, I guess, or something that they have that's going to touch on the kids' academics to help them get better testing scores and get them prepared better for the SATs for.
Well, Veronica, if I may, what I will tell you is that we're listening, and tonight, we want the members of our community to talk about the attributes and characteristics that they believe are essential in the next CEO. And I think what I hear from you is being open to communication. So thank you very much for your call.
Thank you so much. And next we have Wanda in Upper Marlboro. Wanda in Upper Marlboro, you there?
Actually, I'm in Laurel, Maryland. But hello, good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. This is a great idea to have this town hall meeting. So I have two comments and an observation that I'd like to share. I think two critical areas that would be important in the selection of the next CEO is to identify a candidate who is going to not only be committed to just doing their job, because everyone has a benchmark of performance, but also really being committed to improving the schools and the quality of life for the children and their parents that are engaged. And one of the things that DC has, particularly for social workers, is a signed and written agreement to help to promote and sustain many of the principles and values for better government. And I don't think I've ever heard or seen anything like that with this county. I think something like that would be very helpful, so you can get outside of that revolving door of having a CEO or superintendent fulfill this position. The other suggestion I would make would also select a candidate who's also going to hold the faculty and staff at all levels accountable for whatever role of leadership that they play within that school, within that district, and more importantly, across the county. As a parent here in this county, I've had grave problems with the district that I live in, and it seems to be a culture of a lack of willingness to really be supportive and answer questions when questions are being asked that are really developed or designed to further the education of the child. There seems to be a culture of not having parents ask questions, and I'm not sure what that's about. Perhaps it's individuals not being used to having parents involved as much as I've been. I'm not sure, but I think having a level of accountability or ensuring that this new CEO can in fact effect change from that level would be an important part of the selection process. The observation I also wanted to share, yes.
Well, what we're going to ask is we want people to be brief. We have lots of phone calls we want to get through, and I would ask if you would save your last comment and email us at newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. Thank you so much.
These are some really great comments that we're having tonight, Dr. Dukes. But we're going to take a little break, and we're going to ask our second polling question of our audience. And also what's nice to know is that we've actually had over 2,000 of our county neighbors and residents are calling in tonight and joining this call. Really wonderful turnout and shows the commitment that our whole county has to education. Here's our second polling question. Again, after I ask the question, you can answer the question on your telephone touchpad. Here we go. What type of leader does Prince George's County Public Schools need? Again, what type of leader does Prince George's County Public Schools need? Hit number 1 if you say a visionary leader. 2, a strategic leader. 3, focused on community and family engagement. 4, focused on academics. Or 5, a good manager. Let me read those again. What type of leader does Prince George's County Public Schools need? Number 1, visionary. Number 2, strategic. Number 3, focus on community and family engagement. Number 4, focus on academics. Or number 5, good manager. Please press your telephone now. Give us your response, and after a few comments, I'll read back those poll results. Well, now we're going to go to one of the more, not that every caller is very important tonight, but the reason why we're all here is for Marcel, who is a student from Oxon Hill. Marcel, you there?
Hello, my name is Marcel, and I'm calling from Oxon Hill High School. I just wanted to ask for the search committee to ensure that the new superintendent search is one that is truly in tune with students. Ask that you please keep students engaged in the process, as students do have a voice, and in the end of the day, this all impacts students. I also ask that you, as you keep parents updated, again, that you keep students updated. Thank you. Have a great day.
Marcel? Well,
yes.
As you're still listening, Marcel, this is Charlene Dukes. I want to thank you for your comment because you are indeed correct. This is all about our commitment to students and ensuring that you have the education necessary to excel and propel you into your next journey in life. I would also ask that you help us out with your fellow students. Tweet our email address to your fellow students and ask them to let the search committee know what they're looking for. And later on in the program, Scott will repeat the email address, but if you can help us out with that, I'd be much appreciative. Thank you so much for your comment.
Thank you, Marcel. We're now going to go to Cecily in Bowie.
Hi,
Cecily,
good evening.
Bowie?
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for hosting this evening. My question is fairly quick. There's been a high level of turnover in the superintendent role, and in our last search, when we got down to the finalists, I was very surprised that many of them had a resume indicating frequent job changes. So I want to understand, when we're reviewing various resumes for this position, really encourage that you guys take into account whether someone has a proven track record of commitment and staying and improving a system, rather than people who already have a track record indicating that they're looking for the next opportunity. We really need that type of consistency, and so, I was very surprised in the last round that some of the candidates did not demonstrate that characteristic.
Cecily, this is Charlene Dukes, and I have a question for you. What would you consider an appropriate amount of time that one would have been in a superintendent position?
Well, I think I do understand that there is some turnover, but I believe that a couple of them had more than 2 job changes in the last 4 years. And so that to me seemed fairly frequent. I mean, I know when I am looking to hire people to work with me, that is something that I look at, and I would think especially for this kind of position where we've had a high level of turnover, longevity and a history of longevity is something that would be very important for us to focus on.
And I will say is that as we've been engaged in this process, that stability and longevity is probably one of the top two answers relative to what the characteristics are that we're looking for. So thank you very much for your call.
Thank you. And again, we want to remind everyone, if you have a comment that you would like to share with Dr. Dukes and the search committee, again, press 0 on your phone, and you'll be connected to one of our call takers, and we'll try to get you on. Again, we have some great comments already tonight, and we're looking forward to more, but we're going to go up North County with Lori in Greenbelt. Lori in Greenbelt, you there?
Hi, yes, I would just like to make a comment tonight. I would like to ask that the search committee consider the growing Hispanic and other immigrant populations in our schools and make sure that our new CEO is ready to address those children's needs, because I feel that that's an area where the population doesn't necessarily have a voice to speak out for themselves, and I think those children are being neglected. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that comment.
Yeah, that is a wonderful point. I would like to sort of update you with the results of our second poll question. That question was, what type of leader does Prince George's County Public Schools need? The results of that poll was those who answered visionary at the number one selection was 16%. Strategic was 21%. Focused on community family engagement at 22%. The winner of this question was focused on academics at 28%. And then good manager at 14%. Those answers were rather spread out around all the selections that we have there. Next, we are going to Josh in Temple Hills. Josh?
Yes. My quick comment is that I hope that the next CEO, I live in Temple Hills, and I hope the next CEO has a high expectation for students that come from an impoverished background, and that we don't set lower expectations for the kids that attend schools in Suitland, Temple Hills, and Capitol Heights.
Thank you so much for that comment.
Thank you, Josh. That is wonderful. Again, we want to remind folks, if you have a comment, please press 0, and you will be connected to our call takers who will will bring you through and get your comments on with Dr. Dukes and the CEO Search Committee. Joe in Mount Rainier, you're next. Joe.
Yes, thank you. I am interested in, first of all, letting you know I have 4 PGCPS students, and I am a teacher in the system. I would like to see teachers allowed to have more creativity in the classroom. I would like to see different testing besides standardized testing, such as portfolio testing, something like that, because not all students can test well with paper and pencil. And I'd also like to see a lot more ways of reaching out to families. We have a large population of students who are not from this country, and their parents do not understand our educational system. So we need a way of involving those parents so that they can get involved with their students' education.
Thank you so much for that comment.
We're going to Robbie in Upper Marlboro. Robbie, you there?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Robbie.
Oh, hi. I was actually just doing a follow-up comment to the caller who I think was a couple of calls before when she was talking about longevity, candidates having longevity in their past positions or jobs. And I totally agree with her, but in addition to that, I would even add not only longevity, but showing accomplishments. I mean, we all have standards, performance standards that we're supposed to have on our job, and I would suggest actually looking at the accomplishments and also following up and do references, because I have in the past known of some superintendents who have gotten in, who've come from other states, and read in the paper that if there simply was a reference check, they would have uncovered a lot of things that could have prevented some of the stuff that has happened in our system already. So I'm just saying, in addition to longevity, also having a background check, reference checks to make sure that the person who is going to be selected is really really eligible to be a superintendent of schools.
Thank you for that comment, and I will assure you that the search committee will perform its due diligence around that issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Damon in Lanham. Damon Lanham. You there?
Good evening. Hello?
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Yes, you're there.
Oh, thanks for having me. Okay, can you hear me?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, just for key areas, the first deals with innovation. We need an innovator and also someone that can motivate the students and the teachers alike, someone that has a vision, of course, and a CEO or superintendent that that just has a clear understanding of issues. For instance, not using teachers as scapegoats. I'm a former school teacher. I'm a social worker now, and it's really important. Also, a STEM curriculum for more students. Right now, I understand the United States ranks 20th in math and science scores worldwide, and that's abysmal. And lastly, safety. I understand suspension is not the answer, but of course, bullying is an issue. Personally, our daughter attends a private school, but we would love to put her back in a public school. It's just that the neighborhood school just doesn't measure up. And yet every month we have to scrape together dollars to put her in a private school. And really the public school has more to offer, but still it's a safety issue. You have less students. Well, actually you have more accountability for what goes on in the school building where she is now. And we feel happy that she's in a more nurturing environment. So practically those are the issues. I've worked with children for over 20 years, and truly they really want to learn. Teachers truly care. It's one of the most challenging jobs, but it's also one of the most rewarding. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much for those comments, and we certainly will take all of that into consideration, safety being an issue.
And again, we are getting great comments tonight, but again, we know that we might not get to everyone who would like to give a comment, and that's why I wanted to remind folks, you can always email us your comments to newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. Again, that's newschoolsceo, all letters, no periods in there, at co.pg.md.us. Now I think we're all having fun with these poll questions, so we're going to ask one more, Dr. Dukes. This question is, what should be the new Prince George's County Public School System CEO's top priority? So we're asking about the top priority. Again, just hit your touchstone pad on behalf of the attribute that I'm going to name. Number 1, class size. Number 2, school safety. Number 3, bus transportation. Number 4, low-performing schools. Number 5, expansion of specialty programs. Again, that question is, what should be the new Prince George's County Public Schools CEO top priority? That is, hit 1 for class size, hit 2 for school safety, hit 3 for bus transportation, push 4 for low-performing schools, or push 5 for expansion of specialty programs. As we wait for those results, we're going to go to Mary Cunningham in Seat Pleasant, the City of Excellence. Mary Cunningham, you there?
I'm here. I would like to see us totally consider longevity, trustworthiness, and true honesty in working with everyone fairly. And when I say everyone, I mean the administration, teachers, parents, students, and of course the community.
Thank you so much for those comments.
Thank you, Mary. And now let's go to Monica in Upper Marlboro. Monica, you there?
Hi. I have a couple of questions, and I'm going to make them brief. But the first thing is transparency with the school budget. My son is 8, and I've been going to meetings regarding with the school board, and I'm a part of the PTA meeting, but it's very rare that I encounter opportunities to talk about the school budget in layman's terms. I mean, you guys will promise, and you'll give these thick spreadsheets with all of these terms that the average person would probably have to hire an accountant to read. I don't have that kind of money, and I don't have that kind of time, and it would be nice for you all to offer more opportunities where those kinds of things can be discussed, so that we can become more involved, and I think the administration can be more accountable if we can have access to that kind of resource. The second thing is science, technology, and math programs. Now, I work in human resources for public utility. We are hiring engineers every day, and it's very disappointing to me when I don't get to see engineers being hired that live in my area. We have to recruit outside of the country. Forget the United States. I mean, no, it's very rare that we hire someone that even lives within the country for these positions. And I have been looking for engineering programs for my child, but they just don't exist in this area. So it would be nice for us to invest in those types of programs so that we can be ready for this Go Green initiative, which are lots of engineering jobs that are going to be created, even more that are out there now.
So, Monica, what I hear you saying is that transparency with school finances is important, and also looking at expanding the curriculum across the system in science, math, and engineering. We want to thank you for your comment, and if you have any more, please go to the website and email us at our email address. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I would like to give quickly the results of our third poll question, and that question was, what should be the new Prince George's County Public School System CEO's top priority? The top answer was, with 36%, people thought the top priority should be low-performing schools. The second highest was class size at 29%. Tied for third was school safety and expansion of specialty programs at 17%. And bus transportation, interesting enough, only got 2% as a top priority. So Taylor and Bowie, you're up next. What is your concern for Dr. Dukes?
Hi, I am a recent graduate of the Prince George's County Public School System. I would just like to say that I think it's very important for us to look within our own school system as far as leadership and seek out those qualified individuals or people who have experience working in a similar county. Prince George's County is an anomaly almost in the sense that you have a large amount of minority students, and that just takes a whole different perspective rather than a lot of other counties just in our area and in the United States as a whole. I think we need to look for someone not just with experience, and longevity in their job, but someone who has experience with the type of community that we live in.
All right. Thank you so much.
And congratulations on recently graduating. Renee in Upper Marlboro, you are there. You there? Renee, Upper Marlboro?
Yes, I'm here. My question or my comment is the ability to get parents, and another caller made a similar comment, the ability to have more parental involvement. I know, I'm a product of the public school system, but I sent my children to private school, and unfortunately, I had to do that. But the thing is that I know in private school the parental involvement is just tremendous, and unfortunately, as I go into public school for various reasons, I find that parental involvement in public school is just very, very lacking, and I wanted to find out hopefully that there's going to be something done to address that, to get parents more actively engaged, because without parental involvement, we're never going to really see the schools get to their full potential.
Thank you so much for that comment.
Sean and Clinton, are you there?
Hello. My name is Sean
welcome.
Hill. Thank you. One of my concerns is I have two children that are of the age to enter elementary school. So when I started doing research of the schools that were in our area, their numbers were drastically low for the state requirement. And this concerned me because of the whole zoning. You have to send your child to that particular school, but the school is so far below that we ended up putting our children into a private school so that they would have an opportunity to get the proper foundation that they needed. So I would like for the next CEO to really take hold of these schools that are performing low, and also for the parents who are starting to enter into the public school system. I would have preferred that my child went to the pre-K. However, that was based upon income. There needs to be something that's not just for our poverty families or something that is for our well-to-do families. There needs to be a median for the middle class as well, and there needs to be some type of an outreach so that others can learn what the school system is and how to get in and manage. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Sean, and I will tell you that your concern about low-performing schools was in the last survey poll, I think 36% of the audience, and it was number one. So thank you for that comment.
These are really some profound comments, Dr. Dukes. Before we go to more calls, we want to bring into this conversation very briefly our new Board of Education Chair, Dr. Segun Eubanks. Dr. Eubanks was recently appointed the chair of the board on June 1st. He is the Director of Teacher Quality at the National Education Association, the nation's leading organization committed to advancing the cause of public education. Dr. Eubanks has spent more than 25 years of his professional career working to promote opportunity, access, and equity in America's education systems. A parent of two Prince George's County Public School System students, Dr. Eubanks also served as chairman of the County Executive Baker's Commission on Education Excellence since June of 2012. Dr. Eubanks, you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
You there? Yes, please, go ahead, sir. Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much for having me, and it is indeed an honor and a pleasure to serve the students and the citizens of Prince George's County. Just listening today, I can't tell you how proud and impressed I am by the thoughtful comments from my fellow citizens. I, like many others, look forward to working with a committed and dedicated new CEO of Prince George's County Public Schools to help us to take what I know to be a very good school system and make it a great school system. We have the ability to do that. We have the resources to do that. We have the will to do that, and we have the talented and committed staff and students to do that. And I look forward to working with my colleagues to make it happen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Eubanks. And this is Charlene Dukes, and I know that as you've been listening to the comments that you've heard about class size, school safety, low-performing schools, expansion of specialty programs. So even as we listen to the required and certainly hopeful attributes and characteristics of the new CEO, we also know that there are some comments here that are directly attributable to the work that you and the Board of Education will do over the next several years. So thank you so much for calling in. And parental engagement, I will also note that parental engagement has been a big issue of discussion, too, tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Eubanks. We're now going to go to Melanie and Laurel. Melanie, you there?
Hi, this is Melanie. I would like the new CEO to be more committed to making a change in the current culture of the schools in PG County. I'm really kind of tired of people talking so negatively about PG County and the state of the schools, but it really comes down to the students, and I think that the students are doing a really great job at being students, and the teachers are doing a great job at teaching them, even though a lot of the testing results are very low. But I do want them to have in their vision statement something that includes equity, so that all our children have the same opportunity to get educated. And lastly, I would like the CEO to be able to instill pride in our community for our schools, so that would show off. And that way, if the community has pride in the schools, it ends up trickling down all the way to the students. And I want them to be proud that they do go to PG County schools.
Thank you so much for that comment, Melanie. Thank you very much.
Quandra Mbui, and again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. Quandra Mbui.
Hello?
Yes,
Can
go
you hear
ahead,
me?
Ms. Gaskin. Yes, absolutely.
Hi. Well, I just had a brief comment of what I've noticed. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom, but I did work as a teacher for Prince George's County Public Schools, and I worked in Adelphi and from Adelphi to Temple Hills. And what I did notice, and also worked in elementary and middle, I noticed that there's no connection or any program set up for kids who are leaving elementary to go to middle school. And then also middle school 8th graders do not have preparation to go to high school, and I feel like there should be some kind of program set up, whereas the 5th graders are introduced early to the middle school that they're going to attend, and then also the 8th graders attend the school where they're possibly looking at. I know that it may become difficult because there's so many high schools that kids are interested in attending, but I think connecting with these kids early on would help them transition better into a new school.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Gaskins, for your comments.
And I think some people might be joining us a little bit late tonight. Maybe they got stuck in traffic, so I'm going to reset it and remind everyone, if you do have a comment and you would like to mention it to Dr. Deuce and the search committee, please press 0 on your phone, and you'll be connected to one of our call takers. We will try to get your comment, live in front of everyone as soon as possible. Also, we want to remind everyone, if we don't get to your comment, or if you would just like to email us, you can email us at newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. Again, that is newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. We are also going to Dr. Deuce.
Yes, and what I'd like to do, because I know that we've been joined by new callers and listeners, is to remind our audience about the role of the search committee. That our role is to review and gather community input as we convene this search for the new Prince George's County Public Schools CEO. We want to engage the public through multiple forms. Certainly, we've had some face-to-face meetings, this telephone town hall, and you can contact us through the email address that Scott has provided and will continue to provide throughout this evening. We're going to interview and conduct interviews with prospective candidates, and we're being supported in our work by the search firm Hazard, Young, Attia, and Associates. And thirdly, we will recommend no more than 3 candidates to the county executive, and from which one will be selected to serve as the new CEO of our public schools. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Dukes, and I will continue to make sure to give out that email address, which is newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. Well, we're going to go to our 4th polling question tonight, and we've had great responses all night. This is a lot of fun. Here's the 4th question. What should the search committee value the most in vetting candidates? Again, that's what should the search committee value the most in vetting candidates? Please press number 1, prior experiences as a superintendent or CEO. Number 2, longevity in last job. Number 3, test scores indicating student performance. Number 4, a connection to Prince George's County. Again, this is polling question number 4. What should the search committee value the most in vetting candidates? Number 1, prior experience as a superintendent or a CEO. Number 2, longevity in last job. Number 3, test scores indicating student performance. Or number 4, a connection to Prince George's County. After we take a few calls, we'll give you the results of that. But now let's go back to the most important part of the evening, our comments. Chris and Clinton, you're up.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead, Chris. Yeah, absolutely, Chris.
We're here. We're listening, Chris.
My apologies. Just real quick comment. The new superintendent should empower the teachers so they feel supported and protected in the classrooms. Because based on the school safety, if the teachers and students do not feel safe and secure, no program you develop will have some strength to sustain itself. I appreciate
you so
your
much.
time.
Thank you for your comment.
Wonderful. Emma in Capitol Heights, you're up next.
Yes.
Emma, Capitol Heights.
Hello.
Go ahead.
My question, well, not question, but comment. The CEO, rather than the board, will have the authority to consolidate or close schools. I certainly hope that this CEO will not allow this to be based on demographics, but on equity in resources. That is something we in Prince George's County for a long time have not had equity in resources. Most of the time, things are done on a demographic basis. So we certainly hope that there will be equity across the board, not where one lives or what low socioeconomic community one lives in means that they don't qualify to get the same resources that others in other part of the county receives.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think we've heard that equity in resources and in decision making. Thank you so much.
Tony and Glen Arden, you're next.
Hello.
Hello, Tony. How are you?
I am well. I want to thank you all, first of all, for your service to the county and therefore the state and actually the nation, because what you're doing is actually the basis for democracy. There's nothing more important for our president, our future, than the education of the young people. And I want to say, as a proud Prince Georgian, that school safety is not just within the classroom or the school, but also goes beyond the walls of the school into the neighborhood, because if the children don't feel safe getting to or from school, as someone else echoed before, they are not going to learn the way they should. And I hope the new CEO takes that into consideration and greater cooperation with law enforcement and all entities working together to make our children feel not only protected and safe, but special as they deserve to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that comment. And what I hear is partnerships with local law enforcement and authorities to ensure that not only that our schools are safe, but our neighborhoods are safe as well. Thank you so much.
Ted and Laurel, you're on.
Hello, this is Ted and Laurel.
Yeah, hi, Ted.
Hi. At the last town hall, County Executive Rashawn Baker made a comment that one of the concerns was that there seemed to be relatively low representation of the middle and upper middle classes in attending our public schools. And one of the issues that I have found, I have two almost 2-year-olds, so in the next couple of years my children will be entering the school system. One of the issues that is frequently brought up is the fact that we don't have enough information given to the parents and enough interaction with the parents. A lot of parents need to make start to make their decisions about schooling in the fall, and yet the lottery system starts late. The results from the lottery in PG County tend to come out later than just about any other jurisdiction around, and many parents often have to make their decisions about schooling before they get the information, especially if they're on the wait list. Other jurisdictions often make this the start earlier in the year so parents can be more involved. Our schools also don't have tours that are involved for parents to visit their schools and see more about the schools. And so in the one poll, I did answer that more community involvement was important, and that I think that the CEO should have experience in involving the parents in the process of both enrollment and participation in the schools.
Thank you so much for that comment, Ted.
Ada in Mitchellville, you're next. Ada, Mitchellville.
Hi, I'd like to say I've heard some great comments, and I really think that all the residents of PG County, people who called in should be commended on their comments. They're all great comments. I want to thank you for the platform and the opportunity to make a comment. My comment would be I would like to see the next superintendent have school children enrolled in Prince George's County schools, because it compounds the strictness and the forcefulness of striving toward excellence for PG County schools, not only for our kids, but for theirs also. And that's my comment.
Thank you so much for that comment.
Well, we're going to give the results of our fourth polling question right now, and this question was, what should the search committee value the most in vetting candidates? The number one answer was the number one option, the prior experience as a superintendent. That received 40% of the results. Second was connection to Prince George's County, 25%. Third was test scores indicating student performance at 20%. And last was longevity in the last job at 16%. Dr. Robinson and Laurel, welcome.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, Dr. Robinson. How are you doing tonight?
I'm blessed. And yourself?
Always blessed like you. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I want to start by saying I want to thank you and Dr. Dukes and other members of the search committee for answering the call to service to serve on the CEO search committee. You are leading by an example of what engagement looks like today. So I want to thank you all for answering that call. I'll make it brief. I know you got other callers in the queue behind me. There are 4 experiences that I'm looking for in the next, on the first Chief Executive Officer of Schools here in Prince George's County. The first or county executive controlled school system. It's a unique process, and someone has experience working in that level of environment and experience talking with the media, different forms of the media, to include the non-traditional forms of media. We have a lot of media outlets here in this county, but some of them are non-traditional. I can see this CEO embrace those and communicate with those. Thirdly, experience developing the capacity or a pipeline of talented individuals within the system who can assume the role of the CEO if for whatever reason this CEO decides to move forward or is just not meeting our expectations. But we have the capacity to reach within the system and find our next level of leadership. And I like that CEO that had that ability to build that capacity. And if you look at the research, that is certainly one of the cues for making a successful school district when you're looking at mayoral control or county executive control of schools. And lastly, I like an experience of managing budgets in tough economic times that do not result in massive cuts of staff, teacher reduction and increase in class sizes, and the closing of schools. There are other means by which to balance budget without necessarily harming the schools and eliminating some of our better programs. So those are just 4 of probably many experiences that I'm looking for, and I wish you guys the best of luck in finding the right CEO and the right leader for our school district.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you, Dr. Robertson. Now, we have about a half hour left, but still a lot of comments that want to get through. So we're going to ask everyone to try to be brief so we can get as many of your county neighbors and friends on with Dr. Dukes. Alexandria and Oxon Hill.
Good afternoon. This is Alexandria. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. How are you?
Hi. Good afternoon. Yes, my comment is regarding, I would love for the next CEO to have a clear understanding of the generational diversity. I believe there are 4 categories that is broken down that breaks down generational diversity. You know, you have your traditionalists, your baby boomers, Generation X, Generation Y. So whoever the next superintendent is, he has to understand that he's working with all these different levels of diversity, and that understanding the motivators for each one of those categories is important. I mean, because social media, you know, is something that's used widely, so the next superintendent has to have a clear understanding of that and at least hire a bunch of people to do it for him. I mean, I think Dr. Haidt had a good way of doing it, and I'd just like to also say we have some of the best teachers and principals in the whole state, I would dare say country. We have the best talented, gifted students, and so whoever that we select has to come in with a very high sense of pride and knowing that he is leading a great school system.
Thank you
so
much.
I will email the rest of the comments, but I wanted to really get that in.
Thank you, and I look forward to receiving your email.
Again, that email is newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. Again, that is newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. Let's stay in South County. Ann in Fort Washington.
Hello.
Hi, Ann.
Hi. Thanks for having me. I would encourage the new CEO to provide more focus on the special needs programs. What seems to be happening now is that all the programs are bundled together with no apparent look at what is needed specifically. It needs some work.
Thank you for that comment.
Thanks, Ann. Bob and Bowie, you're up.
Hi. Thanks for taking the call. I would be looking for out of this. By the way, a lot of great past feedback. This wouldn't be the first thing I'm looking for, but I would be trying to understand what the new CEO's plan would be for technology integration. At what age and how they're going to actually understanding it's a budgetary issue and it's a personal issue with a lot of parents about how soon is too soon for technology. I would kind of be looking to see what their plan was. I don't even have a right answer for you, but I'd like to find somebody who's at least thought about it. So thank you very much. That would be it.
Thank you so much.
Sonia in Glendale.
Good evening, Dr. Dukes and everyone. And once again, thank you so much for having this forum and allowing the residents of the county to speak out in terms of what it is that we would like to see in a new CEO for our school district. My comments are that I would like to see a superintendent who has a strong track record in closing the achievement gap. In essence, moving students forward and closing the gap between the highest performing school districts in their state and their school district. I'd like to see a CEO who has a proven record in improving the on-time graduation rate, in reducing the dropout rate, and along with Bob and Billy, who has some experience in implementing technology, whether that be digital textbooks, looking at one-to-one initiatives, or other 21st century teaching and learning types of innovations that will help better prepare our students to be successful for college and careers when they leave Prince George's County Public Schools.
Thank you so much for that comment. Thank you very much for it.
Michelle in Mitchellville, you're next.
Hello.
Hi, Michelle. You're on.
Hi, thank you. Just two quick comments. First, I'd like to see a CEO who can come in and who can astutely assess what current programs are in place and keep those or enhance those that are working well and find a way to eliminate those that do not work well. The second piece is paying attention to the professional development, someone who has experience in making sure that all of the staff and the parent community have an opportunity to sharpen the saw to get better at their skills. So that means administrators, teachers, support staff all have professional development opportunities. Thank you, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Deborah in Lanham.
Hi, I'm Deborah from Lanham. Thank you so much for having this town hall meeting. One of the things I'd like the CEO to have, some of the qualities I'd like him to have, to be a good communicator and to be more visible within the school system, visiting schools so that he can see some of the issues that we faced with, large class sizes. I think someone spoke about that, safety, as well as even distribution of resources. I would like to encourage the CEO also to have forums like this, not only for parents but also for students as well as staff.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Tamara in Fort Washington.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Hi, my name is Tamara Johnson, and I just want to say I'm a strong supporter of our public schools. I have two sons, and I'm currently serving as a PTSA president of our school. So two comments I would like to make tonight is that first I would like to, definitely for our the new CEO to be from this area, who knows the history of Prince George's County, who possibly may have children that have either come through the system or are currently in the system. Two problems that I see. I'm originally not from this area,
But I see as you pass exit 15 and 17 on the Beltway that there is a big difference between the southern part of PG and the upper part of PG. So I would definitely like for him or her to come and take a survey of the southern part and see what could be done in order to make this part just as great as the upper part. My second comment is that my two sons attend a foreign language specialty school, and we highlight these specialty programs a lot, but I would like for more resources to be poured into these schools. For instance, we attend the French immersion program. However, we have no textbooks in French. We waste a lot of paper translating and trying to convert different subjects from English to French. And I think if you're going to highlight these specialty programs, to make sure that we have the proper resources to make them the best that they can be.
Thank you. That's a great comment, Tamara. Thank you so much for it.
Before we go to Beth and Laurel, I also want to again remind everyone, if you don't have your comment heard, or you just again haven't decided to ring in to share it, but you think we need to know something, and again, or if you have a neighbor or a friend who missed this telephone town hall but still wants to register their comment with us, newschoolceo@co.pg.md.us. Again, newschoolceo@co.pg.md.us. I feel like I've said that so many times. I hope everyone's written it down. Beth and Laurel. Beth?
Hi. I've been a teacher in PG County for 17 years now, and one of the things I would really like the new CEO to focus on is a balance between data and teaching human beings. I didn't go into teaching to become an accountant. I wanted to inspire students through English and have them learn English and hopefully inspire them to do other things with their life. I can't move a student to advanced that has a chaotic home life or are hungry or other issues going on. They're just not going to be able to focus and learn. So although I realize data is an important piece of education, I don't want it to continue to be the focus. Can we find a happy medium?
Thank you. Thank you for that comment, Beth.
Crystal in Capitol Heights.
Hi. How's everybody doing?
Great, Crystal.
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for creating this opportunity and so many opportunities that you all have created to engage all of us as community stakeholders in this system. I have two questions. The first one has to do with creating a citizen advisory council at the board level, like so many of our neighboring systems do. Anne Arundel does it extremely well, according to their website. But just parental engagement at the highest level of governance, I think, is crucial. And then from there all the way down to the school level. My second point has to do with the tools that we use to measure how effective our schools are. Currently, we have a system of surveys. It was what's called a school climate survey, and I've been an active member in my child's school PTA and also through the school planning and management team, which includes the staff, of course. And what I found is that we have these things called school improvement plans and all these surveys where places where conversations are supposed to take place to help move a school forward and engage all of the community. But my experience is that these conversations aren't taking place, and especially if the survey results don't favor the school leaders. So I just wanted to make sure that whatever tools we put in place to make sure our schools are effective are being implemented properly, even at the school level, as much as, we're looking at it all the way up at the top.
Well, thank you for that comment, Crystal, and we'll also certainly pass along your suggestion about the creation of a citizen advisory council to the Board of Education to Dr. Eubanks. He was on the call earlier, the new chair of the Board of Education, and we'll make sure that he gets that recommendation.
We've had some wonderful comments tonight, Dr. Dukes. We've heard from Bob and Bowie, Michelle in Mitchellville, and now we're going to go to Liz and Laurel. Liz?
Hi.
Liz and Laurel, you there?
Yes, I am. Do you hear me?
Gotcha.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm in Laurel. I have a daughter that just graduated last year and got into UMBC with a scholarship, so I know the system does great things. But I do feel as though we have special challenges that aren't just based on what some of the other commenters have said, such as our multiracial makeup, the fact that we have some schools with high poverty rates. We also have a very large system, which I think adds another level of complexity that you don't even see very many other places in the country. So the new CEO, I think, has to be someone who is able to look at ways that maybe not all new ideas get implemented right away everywhere, but that we can start with trying innovative things maybe in certain schools, maybe, that aren't necessarily done everywhere. When they're successful in one place and we've given some resources to that, then we say, okay, now it's successful there, let's make it bigger so that we're not spending so much money trying new things that maybe don't work. We need someone that's not afraid of change and who can communicate why we need the change. So communicator is very important. The other thing I just wanted to mention, while I think it's very important that the new person has superintendent experience, I also think, and maybe this is just, obvious, but I also think it's important that this person has been either a teacher or an administrator in a school, at that level, because that way they'll understand in a much more profound way what the challenges are that each school faces. And that's different from having a business person come in and, just do everything top down. I think you need to have the perspective from the bottom up. Those are my comments.
Thank you very much for those comments, Liz, and you certainly bring up a good point about the size and complexity of the Prince George's County Public Schools. I believe that we rank in the top 20th with regard to size across the nation. So thank you very much for those comments.
Kiera in Upper Marlboro. Kiera, I apologize if I mispronounced your name.
That's okay. How are you?
We're
Wonderful.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I have a couple of, I'll be brief, but I have a comment. I know there's a heavy focus on testing that I think that takes away from the authentic learning environment. But while test scores are important, I'd also like to see the new CEO support arts education. Students who participate in the arts are known to have higher test scores and achievement across all of the curriculum, many curriculum areas. So I'd like to see support for our arts programs as well. We have some talented kids here in our county, and I don't think that's showcased quite enough. I'd also like to see more communication with the teachers in our county. We're getting a lot of, as a teacher in the county, we get a lot of this is what's happening, and we know the new superintendent won't be the miracle worker. The real miracle workers are the teachers inside the classroom. We directly affect the student achievement, and I think that we should have a little bit more of a say of what happens in our county. So that's it for me.
Well, thank you very much. And Kiera, that STEM has become STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So we certainly understand the connections between all of those disciplines. We want to thank you for your comment tonight.
Well, we have about 10 minutes left in our chat, and we've gotten through so many comments, and we want to kind of do rapid fire here for the last 10 minutes. So please ask to be very, very brief. But before we go to these last 10 minutes of comments, last poll question of the night. Is this format for community input a format you would participate in again? Simple. Press 1 if you said yes. Press 2 if no. It helps us out to know whether we want to use this format again for future issues. Again, poll question number 5. Is this format for community input a format you would participate in again? Number 1, hit 1 for yes, 2 for no. And as we go through the next several comments here, we will give you the feedback, and hopefully people like this format because we enjoy doing it on our side. Plus, it kept everyone out of the dangerous weather tonight. Lynette and Bowie, you're next. Lynette and Bowie.
Yes. Hello. Good evening.
Hi. How are you, Lynette?
I'm finding you. Thanks for responding to me. I just have a brief comment to make. I just hope that the new superintendent will be committed to the children and also be able to have those courageous conversations with parents about their expectations for learning.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next is Tawana in Upper Marlboro. Tawana in Upper Marlboro.
Yes, hi. I'm going to keep it brief. What I would like to see in the next CEO is the CEO running the school and not having the directors, running the school, and you don't even see the CEO because, they're in their office. And also controlling the budget because I've seen so much money being wasted, for example, furniture being bought when the children don't have textbooks or the materials they need to study and work with. So instead of funds going to administrative office, it should go to the schools first so that the children can have the paper, the pencils, and all the other items they need to work with.
Thank you. Thank you for that comment.
Let's stay in Upper Marlboro with Gina. Gina, Upper Marlboro.
Yes, my name is Gina Bowler. I have 2- and 4-year-old children in Upper Marlboro. I would like a CEO who demonstrates leadership in supporting language immersion programs in general and will make it a priority to add Spanish immersion among the specialty programs offered by Prince George's County Public Schools. I feel that the need for Spanish immersion is very obvious and long overdue, and it's something that needs to happen. The models for language immersion programs are readily available. The research and the effectiveness of these programs are abundant, and we need a CEO who's going to recognize this and act on it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gina, for that comment.
Elaine in Landover, you're next.
I would like to see the new CEO be committed to creating a task force to identify the school that's underperformed and making sure they have the right leadership in those schools to ensure that these children meet the proper standard.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
Joy in Clinton, you're on.
Hi, yes, my comment would be I'm a single parent, and over the last 3 years, my children have been I've been taking them to school myself. The boundary school that they have set up for us does not adequately meet their needs. I have gotten a transfer for my daughter to go to the school while her sister attended the pre-K school so they could go together. Unfortunately, now I'm learning because her sister's going into kindergarten, they want to separate them and put the other one back into the boundary school. And I feel like it's such a complex situation for such a simple something that could be simply, ushered in for her younger sister to still be signed away so she could go to that same school. I'm hoping the new superintendent will better look into the boundary schools because the boundary school is actually further away from our home than the school that they're actually attending. So maybe that can be addressed. Thank you.
And so I think what I hear from you, Joy, before you hang up is that you're not just talking about boundary schools. You're talking about a CEO who might be sensitive that if there are special needs within a household, how do you ensure that siblings can stay together wherever possible? That's what I think I heard.
Because
so thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
Valerie,
Thank you.
Valerie in Fort Washington.
Hello.
Hello, Valerie.
Hello.
How are you? Can
I'm
you
fine.
Hear us? Good.
Yes, I can hear. My concern, or what I would like for our next CEO to do, is more geared toward the search committee. I would like them to do a more thorough search into the backgrounds of the candidates. I am an educator, but I'm also a parent of 2 children in the county, and throughout the years I've noticed some of our candidates and some of our superintendents have come with controversy. I've heard about the controversy before they even started day one. So I would like to see it be a more thorough search into the backgrounds of the candidates, and longevity is another concern. And also I would like to the new CEO to instill a sense of high expectations, not just for the students, for example, at Roosevelt, that the students in other areas of the county have those same high expectations for those kids as well as the resources. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comments.
Okay, we're down to our last 5 minutes. I just want to remind everyone one more time the email address if we do not get to your comment, as well as anybody else who would like to send us a comment. Again, that is newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. Again, newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. That's our email. Please feel free to email us a comment after this conversation or anytime. Monica in Upper Marlboro, you're on.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. First, I'd like to commend the county on adopting the Common Core standards. I think that's a wonderful thing that we can meet the expectations across the country. Second, in reference to looking for a superintendent in Prince George's County, I want one, if in lack of a better word, that's going to be able to fight for our county. When I say fight, as you mentioned, Dr. Dukes, our county is one of the largest ones in the state. So I want that and in the nation, yes, and in the nation. So I want that CEO to be able to go to the state board and say, look, on the backs of PG County, with all of the students behind me, I want to be able to fight for the money and the resources for PG County. And in speaking to the longevity, I'm going to be specific about a contract. Maybe, just maybe, you can put a clause in the contract that says, here's a signing bonus, but you only get half. And if you can stay for at least the 2 years or the 3 years, maybe, then you can get the other half of the bonus. So we can get some stability for our CEO. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we'll certainly pass the comment about the contract on to the county executive. He will have the final responsibility for selecting the CEO for the Prince George's County Public Schools. Thank you so much.
Chris in Hyattsville.
Hi, this is Chris.
Hi, Chris.
In Hyattsville.
How are you?
Hi. Good. I have been involved in the PG County schools for 18 years. I've had 2 kids in the school system. My daughter the second child just graduated. And I've done volunteering, and I've been a PTSA president, and I've held different offices, and now I place university students in some projects at high school. So I'm really still interested in the schools, but I've seen a lot of things over the years. And one thing I would like to say that there are many, many dedicated teachers and administrators and workers in the school system, and I think that we need to keep the good ones, and the bad ones should be sent along. And I know that there's seniority issues, so that I don't know how much power the superintendent would have over that, but I think it's an important factor. I also want to say that they have to be sensible in making decisions. I know that we like to run school systems like a business, but our business is education, and our customers are our students and our families. And finally, I just wanted to reiterate the issue about diversity in our county. We have lots of people from many different countries and many different cultures, and a lot of times teachers don't understand what these other cultures are. I think we all have to be educated from the classroom level to the school board level, because there are a lot of issues that we deal with. And where I live in the county, my kids have gone to school where at least half the population is Hispanic. So we have a lot of different issues. So those are the things I would like to see a superintendent address.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris, for those comments.
And we're now going to, finally, to conclude this evening, we're going to bring back County Executive Baker for some last comments and thank everyone for their participation. Mr. Baker, are you there?
Yes, I am. Scott, can you hear me?
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah, I first of all, I want to thank Dr. Dukes and for doing this town meeting. I want to thank everyone for calling in. This is vitally important, and I agree with the callers about the longevity and making sure that whoever we bring in, that person understands this is about, putting our children first and making this the best education system possible. So I want to thank everyone for doing this, and I know that we're going to have another one of these, I believe, Scott, and so I look forward to listening to the comments there and taking your ideas and your suggestions and picking a great superintendent for us. So thank you, and thank you for participating. Scott, I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, we're now going to give it to Dr. Dukes. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you for joining us tonight. I want to give Dr. Dukes the opportunity to say a closing statement.
I do want to thank all of the callers and listeners on behalf of Ken Johnson and Orland Johnson, the other two members of the search committee who have been listening intently tonight. I do want to let all of you know that we understand just how important this is to our county, to each of us who lives in this county, and most importantly, to the young people that we are charged with educating every day. You all have heard the email address, newschools.co.pg.md.us, and you can also go to the county government's website, and if you look at the left-hand side of the home page, you will see an opportunity for you to click there and get more information about this search process. As you've heard from the county executive, we will certainly try to have another telephone town hall meeting, and we'll get that information out as quickly as we can. We want to apologize to all of you who've been waiting on the line to talk to us, but please rest assured that we have recorded your comments, and I can see a number of names with comments on the screen here tonight, and we'll take everything that all of you have said into strong consideration.
Dr. Dukes, actually, if anyone would like to leave a message for the search committee, all you have to do is stay on this call, and you'll be given the opportunity to leave a message, and all those messages will be forwarded to the search committee. Again, for the County Executive's Office and the Search Committee, we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight. I'd just like to remind folks that we do have a tornado watch in effect for the county until 10 o'clock and a flash flood warning in effect for the county until 10:45. So we want everyone, bad weather out there tonight, please be alert, be safe, and thank you again very much for joining us. One last time, if you would like to leave us or email us a comment, it's newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. Again, newschoolsceo@co.pg.md.us. Thank you for joining us tonight, and good night.